Welcome to Invest. We'll talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As a current time of 2:17 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum traded $2,822, about 4% so far, respective of the crypto market and the equity market on this Friday. It's been sliding off the entire day so far, despite the slight rally we had early this morning. But investors are slowly digesting the corporate earnings from Apple and also Amazon yesterday, the two tech giants. The depictions on the economic outlook with respect to supply chain issues, the inflationary pressure, the COVID, cultivation, all of these negativity is, leaving a bad taste in investors' mouth. So collectively, ahead of the next FOMC meeting, which according to the Fed schedule, if you look into it, on this page right here, is going to debut on May 3rd and 4th. So technically it's going to be next Tuesday and Wednesday. It somehow lies on my birthday on May 3rd, which is, I don't know what to think about it. But with respect to the overall crypto market and the equity market, because of the negative corporate earnings from two major tech giants, and the anticipated pressure ahead of the FOMC meeting, which we have about 3-4 days away from it, and what investors typically would do, because of the fact that we know the main event is going to talk about the interest hikes, right? Based on the foreshadow that Jerome gave us, hiking by basically twofolds from 25 basis points to 50 basis points. Obviously, will have a negative seismic effect onto corporate earning potentials, but also it will also subsequently cut into our profitability potential as well, because of the fact that it takes more interest payment for us to borrow the same amount of debt for us residential members in the society, but also with respect to corporate as well. Most companies are sustained by having debts on their balance sheets. The same amount of debts that they had before, now they have to pay more on interest payments going forward, which will subsequently hinder their profitability going forward as well. So all negative, sentiment across the spectrum without true clarity. So the market will tend to overreact, number one, but also tend to try to adjust into the price level, right? So that's the reason why we're kind of selling off across the spectrum. And we are at the critical level at the moment with respect to Ethereum. We broke below the 2850 level, just lingering around the green channel that we identified so far, right? And at the same time, we are negative across the spectrum with respect to MACD crossing down. At the same time, RSI is already forming an M shape instead of a W shape. So that means the inertia of the rocket ship or the baseball, whichever you want to use to talk about trajectory, is pointing downwards, right? So the next level technically we'll get to will be somewhere around 2750. Obviously you're gonna get to 2800 first, which is exactly where we're at right now, and then 2750, which are the flat numbers, and then 2700, which we have some consolidation. But the real level we need to get to will be somewhere around, let's just match this correctly, will be somewhere around the 2500 based on the previous level of leap down. And then in terms of the previous level that we try to also attempt to get to us of April 26th, which is technically on Tuesday, we also had a glimpse of touching that briefly, but you could see that clearly people had major appetites. At the same time, we were at the 36 out of 70, so that got bought up. But now it seems like we're sliding back down right now. The trend is still relatively bearish, and again, because of the anticipatory pressure ahead of the May 3rd and 4th, which we still have this weekend, on top of Monday. So Monday, I wouldn't hold my breath, and I would say why we're selling off the way we are right now is because people don't want to hold their breath, waiting until until Monday, when on the international side of the house, in China as well, we do not know how it's going to end up from there. But based on the sentiments that the world is waiting for, the meeting coming with the interest hikes that will be debuting, the signal is obviously negative. So people will always be overly negative to just have that safe haven affectation. At the same time, today is a Friday, so that's like a double whammy. So we'll see how that goes from there, right? And respect to Bitcoin, down about 3% as well. We are at the level of the consolidation of the 38,500, which is exactly where we're at right now. At the momentum that we have right now, it's highly possible that we could go down to 37,500, all the way to 36,500 from here, if we crack below this current level. And I would say it's likely because of the propensity of the M shape that we're forming in front of us. So definitely be cautious, right? In respect to Ethereum Classic, we are breaking down now. You can see that we're heading towards to the 28, all the way to 25. So we're very submerged at the 31 out of 70 right now. So if Ethereum Classic is definitely heading to the right directions based on what we've been talking about so far. Respect to Dogecoin, down about 1%. Just lingering on, still negative across the spectrum, coming down all the way to 12 cents all the way to 10 cents is where I would ideally buy at, right? Respect to Cardano, down about 4%, anywhere from basically current level down to 75 is still logical to DCA. Solana is down about 5% at $94 right now. As we break to the 90, that's a bounce that we'll be expecting, but I think anywhere from 85 to below is a logical level to DCA, right? XRP is down about 6%. Bright red, two double red candles, 23 out of 70. This is even more oversold than others. And right now we're matching with the previous level, which is you've seen that we were touching that around January all the way to February. So we had that 1 month durations of that consolidation. So I think touching around the current level, 62 to basically bottom technically would be somewhere around 57. Is logical. So I think anywhere right now is a logical buy for XRP. Polkadot's down about 5% as well. Anywhere from current level down to 1406 is logical. Algorand's down about 6%, 64 cents at the moment. At the 35 out of 70, I think right now is at the rock bottom. We are literally at rock bottom for Algorand. Well, knowing the fact that we are selling off to the abyss, it's hard to gauge in terms of like where we could end up to, because we've been just sliding off the cliff ever since the beginning. So be cautious about Algorand. It seems like it's a dying assets to be like collectively. Respect to Shiba Inu is 2100, 1400 to 900. If we crack below the current level, we have a long way to go. 1400, 900, right? Those are levels respectively. MATIC's down about 6%. We are selling off even more, and you could see that this is quite funky what we've seen in the past, like with these 3-4 flash crashes. Right now we broke below the 120, so heading down to somewhere around like the 110 and then subsequently 105 can be possible, but the rebound should be happening imminently, knowing the fact that we're the 30 out of 70 at the same time as we get over the hump of May 3rd and 4th, which is the FOMC meeting. I think we should technically see some sort of a rebound, knowing the fact that the market typically, again, sell the rumor, buy the news. In respect to AVAX, down about 4.34%, 59 to 50 as we're heading down there. With respect to Terra at 80, Luna or Terra, down about 5% so far. We are still at a head and shoulder pattern. So selling down all the way to, first level, right? 72, 75, around that level. If we break that level, right, 62, 52 to 45 from here, right? So it's we are doing what we typically are doing, right? Sell the rumor, buy the news type of thing, right? So would I be overreacting? No, I think let's just mute all the emotions that we have, okay? Stay logical, right? Do not panic, right? Because if you panic sell, you're gonna regret it. And typically panic or using emotions to make your decisions is never really the logical thing to do. You'd also cloud your judgment at the same time, right? So I want to emphasize the point that, we are at a discounted price. If you think long term, these are brainless price. You know what I'm trying to say? And right now the market's just basically try to adjust for what's going to happen on the 3rd and the 4th next month, right? So I'll keep an eye out on the needle. We know the respective technical levels that we could potentially go down to. And be cautious, right? But don't be afraid and don't panic. And eventually you'll get over this hump, as I am with you already, right? We are all collectively in this pain. And if we all ride this out together, right, join forces, we'll get through this together. It takes a village, right? So have a good Friday. Don't worry too much and have a good weekend as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.